She said she would be a fighting champion, Dave, and she is true to her word.
A bona fide global megastar, almost weighed down by how many championship belts she has earned. Look at them. Absolutely covered in glory, in gold, is the CEO.
Mercedes Moné made a bet on herself. She fights not just for championship championship days. She fights for legacy. And it's nights like this which do so much to enhance the legacy, to enhance her reputation. She is a world beater and she will not back down from any challenge. We saw the instant classic against Kanji back in April at high stakes. And straight after that contest, the first words out of her lips were, "Who's next?" And the answer to that question is standing in front of her right now. The answer to that question is Sapphire Reed.
Moné realizing that the odds here in some ways very much stacked against her. It's not one-on-one, it's 1 against 4 with Nina Samuels, Lizzie Evo and Mercedes Blaze all here in support of Sapphire Reed for our main event here at Summer Sizzler.
Sapphire Reed's just stepped between the Cutthroat Collective and she's eyeballing Mercedes Moné. If there's someone who's not going to be intimidated by this situation, it's Sapphire Reed. And the crowd here, I think they feel they can do a lot here. I think, hang on, look.
Well, Reed is telling the rest of the Cutthroat Collective to let her do this alone.
Well, they think she's joking, but I think Sapphire Reed is being deadly serious.
Evo, Blaze and Samuels are going to get out of here. Well, that is a gutsy move, and it's not something typical of the Cutthroat Collective, quite honestly.
Yeah. They need to trust Sapphire Reed's judgment on this one.
Well, let's get the official in-ring introductions for this undisputed British Women's Championship match.
Well, Mercedes not looking too pleased by the cheers for Sapphire Reed.
Man, listen to it.
And introducing your champion from Boston, Massachusetts. She is the EWA Women's Champion. She is the CMLL World Women's Champion. She is the
just listing the championships that Mercedes Moné could take us deep into the Wolverhampton night here. Goodness me.
Take a bow, Francesca, as well. She's come a long way.
Without notes, that was. Remembered every single one of those titles. Wow. Sapphire Reed, though, will be buoyed, no doubt, by the fact that she may have sent the CTC to the back, but she has a couple of hundred fans in her corner, it sounds like.
Maybe even more than a couple of hundred, Dave. I feel there's more than a... It's more, I don't know, is it a 50-50 split? I don't know. I was about to say Sapphire Reed's super popular, and then you heard Mercedes Moné's entrance. And now listen to the people.
It's hard to gauge because some of them are chanting CEO, some are chanting Sapphire. They're doing it at the same time.
Rhythmically, aren't they?
Here we go.
Beautiful music of professional wrestling being played out before our ears and eyes.
Well, this has already been an unforgettable night for reasons good and bad.
Yeah, history-making night as well.
We're going to end it on a high here. We're going to have a patronising pat on the head there from Moné to Reed.
Look at the look on the face of Sapphire Reed. Look, we talk all the time about the Moné match, which is the money match, if you will. We talk about the eyes of the wrestling world being on not just Mercedes Moné, but Mercedes Moné lives with that pressure every single day of her life. For her opponent, it's one night. It's the build towards that one night. It's a sense of anticipation. It's a preparation. And it's how they handle that pressure.
Hammerlock here from Reed, the snapmare takedown, but the story of the opening moments there was again that the sort of patronising approach that Moné took, sort of stepping on the back there of Reed as well. And Moné just freeing herself very forcefully.
Sapphire Reed not looking best pleased, is she? This is going to be, look at that, she's pushing Mercedes down. I think if Sapphire Reed is approaching this very differently to Kanji, isn't she?
Oh, very much so.
When Kanji, it was all about admiration, it was all about respect for her opponent. With Sapphire Reed, it's very much about trying to prove a point, isn't it?
I think it's trying to prove at this point that Moné should respect her.
Absolutely. You heard those bitter lines from her, didn't you? When you look at that from Sapphire Reed. And that's a bit of Sapphire Reed which brought her to the dance, isn't it? Because you have to have that sense of self-confidence, don't you? You have to have that chip on your shoulder.
But especially when Moné has tried to set the dynamic here in the opening moments in the opposite direction, where it's like as if Reed is somehow lucky to be in there with her. She has to make that point, Reed, that no, I'm your equal, I deserve to be here.
She caught her. Moné rushed in and got caught. Nice leg sweep from Sapphire Reed, just a 1 count again. Moné not even wanting to be down for the count of 2. Yeah, but she gets caught by that Japanese arm drag.
And Reed is showing again the threat she poses to Moné's championship.
And listen, pace, speed, advantage is clearly in the corner of Sapphire Reed, who nips up and she takes control in the center of the ring.
Well, Reed realizes this is the biggest night of her life. She's performing accordingly.
Sapphire Reed now off the ropes. Oh, Mercedes Moné's clearly done her homework here, sending Reed into the guardrail, head first into the side of the ring, discombobulating Sapphire Reed.
Yeah, Moné just dragging her around the ring, taking her wherever she wants to, again, sending the face into the edge of the ring.
And this is interesting as well because Mercedes Moné is what, wow, nice kick to the back of the skull. The rotation there was something else as Moné enjoying her work. But Moné's a renowned technician, and it's perhaps a compliment to Sapphire Reed that Moné had to take it to those lengths just moments ago to get back into control of this contest.
That control extending as far as a 2 count, but not as far as a 3 count yet, as Moné gets straight back on top of Moné. Illegal choke here across the middle rope. Referee's going to require the break prior to the count of 5. Moné doing so, but when she was ready. And a knee to the face here from Moné. Moné with that just aura of star power. He was back at Wrestle Dynasty in January at the Tokyo Dome. Moné won the title from Mina Shirakawa. It's her second time defending here in the UK at Rev Pro.
Yeah, and of course when Mina Shirakawa won that championship, hook of the leg, this time it's Sapphire Reed who kicks out at 1. And Mercedes not quite sure what to make of that. And of course it was Mina Shirakawa who shocked the wrestling world at the 12-year anniversary show, dethroning Dani Luna for that championship.
And the CEO chant starting to echo around the hangar. Both women settling into this a little bit now.
And of course, Mina was able to make it to 2 successful defences as the undisputed British Women's Championship. This Monet's 2nd defence of that gold.
Knees right down into the abdomen, folding up the body of Sapphire Reed. Another 2 count for Monet.
Yeah, just rolling the shoulder and trying to get as far away from Mercedes Monet as possible is Sapphire Reed.
Picking her up by the hair here. I wonder if Reed at this point may be starting to question that decision to send the rest of the Cutthroat Collective back to the locker room.
Maybe, but I think that Sapphire Reed, you know, if she were to win, she doesn't want there to be any question marks over the victory. So I think it's admirable of Sapphire Reed.
It's admirable, but it's not really the CTC way. If it works, then I guess...
Listen, Dave, let's not forget how the CTC got together. They got together because they were an elite group of athletes in this British wrestling scene. Not because of their tactics they employed, not because of cheating and breaking the rules and cutting the corners.
I know, I understand that entirely. They're an elite group, but they are greater than the sum of their parts, partly because when they hunt in a pack, as we said before, they are so effective, as was that knee from Monet.
Well, she went for those pair of knees at Meteora again. Sapphire Reed had her number this time, rolled her up, got a 2 count.
Reed straight back up to her feet.
Swung wildly and got caught.
And now, to that variation on the back cracker and that stranglehold. Look at the way the back of Sapphire Reed is arched over the knees of Monet.
Yeah, and this is so dangerous because the initial maneuver takes the air and oxygen out the lungs, and then Mercedes Monet hangs on and continues that torture. So you don't have a chance to breathe, and your spine is quite literally on fire.
Reed having to try and just power her way out of that predicament, able to get to her feet. It's a better spot to be in, but not an ideal one. Much better, though, as Reed able to break the hold.
Nice jawbreaker from Sapphire Reed. Step up in Zagori, and Monet is to the outside of the ring.
If Sapphire Reed's getting a greater percentage of the offense here, and I think a lot of us expected maybe, Reed through the ropes, feet first, into the chest of Monet.
Yeah, as the Young Guns learned earlier on, though, having that share of offense, it doesn't necessarily yield the results you would require. But Sapphire Reed looking to change the table now.
Missile drop kick there from Reed. Can she convert that into a title win? No.
Just a 2 count. Sapphire Reed now, she needs to, listen to the crowd getting behind her. That's going to help her. It's going to encourage her. She needs to not get overexcited. She needs to not panic. Because this is going the way she would have liked it to.
I think so far it's gone about as well as Reed could possibly have hoped.
Oh, and for a 2nd time, and this time Mercedes Monet with a release and a cover.
Yeah, a kick out again from Reed. That one was a little bit close, left it late. She's got to be careful here, does Reed.
Well, you know that Monet's going to be feeling that. Maybe a little frustration there from Mercedes Monet.
Yeah. Monet, the flashiness, the strategy maybe going out the window slightly as she just unloads of those shots to the face there of Reed.
Yeah, she has got that nasty side to her, Mercedes Monet, and she has got that quote-unquote killer instinct, and that's something that champions need. Will 3rd time be the charm here from Monet as Sapphire Reed trying to fight out and finds an escape. A very smart and intelligent professional wrestler is Sapphire Reed. Catches Monet with a super kick.
He was looking for the ripcord lariat before that, could have get that, but doesn't get
excellent
the
work.
Using the ropes for assistance, Sapphire Reed gets on top of Monet for 2.5.
And Mercedes Monet's skull just bounced off the canvas, and this time it's going to be Monet who's wondering where she is, looking to recompose herself. Reed charges.
Yeah, Reed charging across the ring there. The elbow came up for Monet.
Yeah, you cannot rush in against Mercedes Monet, can you?
At some point you've got to take a chance. I think that's the the ethos here for Reed, but she ended up going face first into the turnbuckle. Now the middle rope, the Meteora, the knees down onto the shoulders. Monet hooks the leg, and it's another 2 count for the champion.
Monet is throwing a lot at Sapphire Reed, and it looks like she's starting to worry, doesn't it? The look of confidence has gone from her face.
I feel like she had to bring out a lot more from her arsenal than she would have maybe liked to tonight.
Yeah.
Monet maybe not underestimating. I'm sure she's done her homework, but until you're in there with Sapphire Reed, you don't really appreciate, I think, what an incredible talent she is.
Yeah, I'm very interested to know if Mercedes Moné was keeping an eye on the undisputed British Heavyweight Championship match. Just get a further grasp, and look at that. Sapphire Reed, like I said, such a high wrestling IQ from Sapphire Reed, connects to the side of the skull of Moné.
So much of this is what she's learned, that apprenticeship in at the deep end by being a part of the Cutthroat Collective.
Absolutely, and very much the rookie member at the time of its inception. Oh my goodness.
And that's why Monet is so good. Able to just turn things back to her advantage in a blink of an eye.
The leg just swept away from her as Sapphire Reed hit the canvas with a sickening thud, and Monet's not done.
Here comes Monet. Knees into the turnbuckle because Reed got out of dodge. And now Reed.
Oh, wow. Great evasive work into offensive work from Sapphire Reed. Ripcord lariat. Hook of the leg.
She could do it here. She could do it here. No.
Oh, Sapphire Reed was half a second away from being called the undisputed British Women's Champion.
And can you imagine how the aftershocks of that would reverberate around the wrestling world if Reed beats Monet at Summer Sizzler? It could happen here.
Oh, she went for that Shining Wizard, the same one she used to defeat Emerson Jane in the semi-final and missed.
Now the pin here from Monet, a kick out from Reed, but it goes to show Monet has done her homework. She knew what was coming there, and now she gets the pin in predicament of her. Oh, no, she doesn't. Statement maker from Monet.
And Sapphire Reed's in the centre of the ring with nowhere to go.
Mercedes Moné cinching down on the statement making.
She came close.
I thought she was going to tap.
Yeah, I think she thought about it for a second, then realised what was at stake.
These are the moments when real champions prove their worth. Can Sapphire Reed prove she belongs in that category? The pain must be unbearable here. Reed's getting closer, but can she make that final distance?
Oh, Moné, no, Reed, Moné!
She touched the ropes, she touched the ropes!
Oh, what an escape! Saito suplex for the escape, and Sapphire Reed connects!
The Shining Wizard from Sapphire Reed! Has she made magic? And whoa, the foot on the rope! The foot is on the rope for Moné, and that is all that denied Sapphire Reed an enormous moment.
And if it wasn't for the stakes in this contest, perhaps Sapphire Reed would have pulled Moné into the centre of the ring, but she just knew she was desperate to get that cover, desperate to get the free count, and that nearly cost her.
Reed.
Oh, wow!
The warhead from Reed.
And Sapphire Reed isn't done. She's looking to find volume here. She's signaling the end is nigh. And Mercedes Moné's championship reign is in real jeopardy. No, Moné catches her. Moné catches her.
The Moné maker onto the catch in midair.
Wow, she got her.
Mercedes Moné finds a way to defeat Sapphire Reed. Good Lord.
Wow, the history-making reign of Mercedes Moné continues. And I'm not sure what Mercedes Moné expected when she became the undisputed British Women's Champion, but she is being tested. My God, she's being tested. And Sapphire Reed just put up one hell of a fight.
Even in defeat, that might be a career-changing performance for Sapphire Reed. But you talk about career-changing decisions. We talked about how Mercedes Moné bet on herself when she decided to take a foray into the independent wrestling world. And it is nights like this, in the heat of Wolverhampton on a Friday, sizzling hot, that Mercedes Moné must think that she made a hell of a right decision.
Yeah, listen to this. Look at this. She's offering her hand to Sapphire Reed. A job well done. She might not got the results she wanted, but she got the respect she wanted. And look at the embrace between Moné and Sapphire Reed.
Oh wait, the Cutthroat Collective.
But Mercedes Moné needs to be careful because, oh no!
What are they doing?
Oh, come on!
CTC, Moné, Evo, Nina Samuels, they're attacking Moné.
But hang on.
But Kanji,
Watch out!
Kanji's here. The woman who Moné beat at high stakes. Kanji, the shining wizard to Mercedes Blaze, the boot to the face of Evo.
And the respect between Mercedes Moné and Kanji is there for everyone to see.
Thank God for Kanji tonight. The Octopus
Oh my
hold.
goodness, look at this! The center of the ring!
The statement maker on Blaze.
Look at Nina Samuels coming to the aid one side and Sapphire Reed coming to the aid the other side.
Reed dragging Blaze out of the ring. Well, Sapphire Reed came with reinforcements, but it turns out Mercedes Moné had a friend in the back as well.
Well, listen, I tell you right now, Mercedes Moné and Kanji is a match made in wrestling heaven.
A lot to unpack there with the actions of the Cutthroat Collective, but right now it is party time.
Yeah, it looks like it wasn't just wrestling that Kanji learned when she competed against Mercedes Moné there.
The CTC being waved out of the building by Kanji and by the CEO of Red Pro.
Wow, what a night of pro wrestling action. Mercedes Moné laughing at Kanji and smiling as Kanji signaling that she wouldn't mind another crack at that undisputed British Women's Championship.
Oh, it's going to take a hell of a lot, though, to dislodge Moné, because as we finish here at Summer Sizzler, Mercedes Moné remains the champion.
History-making run of Mercedes Moné continues, and their history-making run of Ricky Knight Jr. has just started.
Yeah, don't remind us. Apart from that, a hell of a night that none of us will ever forget. We thank you for joining us here at the Hangar.
And we are not slowing down. The Summer of Rev Pro continues this Sunday live in Sheffield. Catch it right here on RevProOnDemand.com as all roads lead to the 13-year anniversary shows. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. I love this business.